Hi.
Hola.
Hi, hier ist Mr. Döse.
This is Michael Bradley.
Hey, I'm Memphis.
Hey.
Hola. Hello.
I'm here with soccer.com.
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 And I'm talking with my friends soccer.com.
See you soon.
Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the brand new Adidas Ace Tango 17.1 indoors in the red limit pack colorway. Now inside the box, all you get are the shoes themselves. They do not come with any extras. And here's a look at what is essentially an indoor variation of the Ace 17.1 Prime Knit. It has basically the same upper, although you'll notice at the toe, it has exposed Prime Knit as opposed to having kind of a polyurethane TPU covering. We'll talk about that detail later in the video. And of course, you're gonna get a boost foam midsole, which is pretty interesting in itself. So we're gonna go over all of the performance details in the video so you can learn a little bit more about the shoe in general. We'll take a look at the weight, as well as talk about how these things fit and feel on feet. So if you are interested in learning more, please stick around and watch the entire video. If you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, I'll leave a little pop-up on screen, or you can click the first link down below. That'll take you to the review page on my website, where you'll find Buy It Now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these guys up below their normal $130 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, a little pop-up on screen, first link down below, go ahead and check it out. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. To start things off, let's talk tech specs. Now, the Ace Tango 17.1 Indoor features an upper that is essentially taken from the Ace 17.1 Prime Knit, minus two features. The first being non-stop grip dots, which you're not going to find on this shoe, mainly because it's an indoor model, not really intended to be worn in wet weather conditions. And two, the fact that it doesn't have any kind of covering for the Prime Knit at the toe, which is a really, really interesting decision that has some positives and some negative aspects about it. So the one thing that I really like about this is the fact that this material, when it's left completely kind of exposed, just straight up mesh, both inside and outside, it makes for such a soft sock-like experience. There's enough thickness and structure to it to where it doesn't necessarily feel flimsy on your foot, and you have decent reinforcement kind of cutting through the forefoot area where it does transition into that control skin material, where it doesn't feel like there's a loss of responsiveness or it doesn't feel sloppy on your foot. It's flexible, it moves with your foot nicely, and it essentially does have, like I said, that sock-like sensation, that sock-like level of comfort, which is a very, very good thing. In terms of touch on the ball, also, it's very good. It's on the thinner side, but it does have that slightly padded sensation, being that you do have kind of multiple layers of densely knit material. The finish, though, does leave it kind of slick on the ball, which isn't necessarily a negative performance aspect. It's more so something that revolves around personal preference and I guess just getting used to the feel. Once you get used to it, I didn't really find it to be any kind of significant issue, but as a definite negative, my concern would be the longevity and just durability of this material. If you're somebody that regularly drags your toes, this is probably not the best option for you because you're going to tear through this material very, very quickly. And if you do plan on using this in any kind of street soccer type environment, concrete, asphalt, anything that's going to be fairly abrasive, should you accidentally drag this on the ground, should you slip, should you fall, should you slide, whatever it may be, this is not going to hold up all that well. So for kind of strict indoor court usage, you probably aren't going to have too many issues given that you're somebody that stays on your feet pretty efficiently. But if you're somebody that slides around and frequently kind of finds yourself scraping the upper against whatever it may be, this probably isn't a very solid option. But from a comfort and just general feel standpoint, the fully exposed mesh or I guess knitted upper, the Prime Knit material, just feels really, really good on this particular shoe. It's one of my favorite features, but also one of the features that probably is the most controversial in regards to durability, because like I said, there's no protective layer here whatsoever. The rest of the upper, pretty much identical to that of the regular Ace 17.1. You get this kind of control skin material, which is an elasticated material. It's mostly covered up in fuse though. You can see it is exposed through the middle, so you get that little bit of stretch with the seam here that does have the fuse over top of it as well. They do add the little pull tab here at the front. Not really a big deal. I think more of a visual thing than anything, although it does help a little bit in terms of getting the shoes on and off. You don't have the internal structure like what you'll find on a pure control model, be it with this upper or the Prime Knit variation, so keep that in mind as well. Internally, there is a synthetic lining material, so there is structure added to this kind of control skin along with what you see on the outside, fully internal on the shoe. And again, it's thin, it does have a similar kind of thickness to the rest of the upper, and it feels quite good. You get the pure cut sock system, which essentially is kind of the mid-cut aspect of the shoe. Even though there really isn't any structure to this, it's basically just an extension piece. So if you were to kind of fold it in, you can see that's kind of the standard low cut. But this is just, like I said, elasticated, loose extension piece. So no performance benefit there, no ankle lockdown, no ankle support, just something that does extend from what a normal low cut shoe would be. You do have the central lacing system, and the lacing system is very effective on this shoe and completely necessary. I know a lot of people have been asking me about the A17.1 Prime Knit if they can wear it without laces. You're welcome to do that, but all the structure and all of the lockdown is still designed around the lacing system on this shoe. So if you remove the laces, you're gonna lose out on all of that lockdown and all of, I guess, the performance benefit of having proper security of the shoe wrapping around your foot. So entirely necessary to the performance of the shoe. They don't just put them there for nothing. And you can see it uses this dual lace hole system at the bottom two positions, and then uses these little kind of nylon lace loops that don't fully extend. They're basically just there to attach the laces to the upper, and you have two of those on either side moving towards the top. So when you do pull the laces tight, like I said, very, very effective in terms of getting you a nice locked-in sensation. There's a very thin internal plastic heel counter at the back. The heel liner is a nice synthetic suede material with a decent amount of padding, no issues there with discomfort. Insole fully removable, kind of a cheaper insole if I'm completely honest. Features a mesh liner on top. You get the Tango kind of indoor line logo there at the heel. That's what that is for those that are wondering. And it's just a single layer of this perfectly flat black foam. So like I said, a little bit cheaper, but it does get the job done. The underfoot cushioning, I would say, is above average here, because as you can see, it does incorporate their Boost foam, which is something that has kind of been made popular through their running shoe line. This is an indoor outsole, midsole combination that we have seen from Adidas before, although it does seem to be revamped in some way just based on how it feels with these new models, in that this does have a much more noticeable kind of Boost foam underfoot cushion feel. Basically what's happening here is you have a top line midsole, which is kind of a firmer foam material just for some kind of stability. You can't just have straight up Boost foam because it would lack stability. It'd just be too mushy in general, but it seems to be a lot thinner in that you can feel the Boost foam a lot more, and it doesn't feel unstable in any way at all. The foam obviously extends from the heel basically into the middle of the forefoot, almost to the tip of the toe. You don't necessarily need it right here. But again, the amount of underfoot cushioning that this provides is very, very good. It does have that slightly bouncy sensation, although again, you don't sit directly on top of the Boost foam. Still, if you're looking for good impact protection from a pair of indoors, this definitely will provide that. And I would say is on par with kind of the Lunar Lawn cushioning setups that you'll find from some of the Magista X and Tiempo X models from Nike's lineup. So as far as the bottom is concerned, you do get the solid rubber outsole with kind of the waffle cutouts here. So you do get some of that Boost foam exposed on the bottom. That's there mainly just to shave a little bit of weight. And as far as traction is concerned, this does seem to perform quite well when you're on a clean court, when it's quite dusty, not the best. And it is fairly durable on concrete asphalt as well. You get the kind of more solid rubber around the edges and even the lip here around the front. Again, my concern when it comes to durability doesn't really have to do with the rubber itself. It has more to do with this exposed Prime Knit area at the toe. So if you do choose to wear these on concrete asphalt in a street soccer type environment, just be very mindful of scraping this front part of the upper against the ground, because it's very possible that it could tear, it could snag. Things could go wrong very, very quickly is what I'm getting at. So overall, I really like this indoor shoe. They're very comfortable. I think they look pretty cool. The underfoot cushioning is kind of along the lines of what I like. A little bit higher off the ground than some indoor shoes, but that's more of a personal preference thing. And again, I just think it's a very comfortable, very good performing shoe in general. It has its quirks about it, but that's the case with a lot of top-end models. If you can deal with the quirks, definitely a shoe that I can very strongly recommend. In regards to weight, the Ace Tango 17.1 Indoor is actually lighter than I was expecting them to be. So I'm going to weigh this pair for you today in real time using this scale. Keep in mind that this is a brand new pair in a size 9 US. We're going to throw them on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 9.5 ounces, the equivalent of 269 grams. So they obviously do weigh more than the A17.1 firm ground shoe, but that's because you do have this indoor bottom with the midsole and lots of rubber on the outsole as well. That does add significant weight to the shoe itself. With that said, given the style of shoe, given the way that it fits and feels on your foot, and given the amount of underfoot cushioning that it provides, being at the 9.5 ounce weight range is actually pretty good. So not the lightest indoors out there, but I think that somebody who'd be interested in this probably isn't too concerned with that. And whether or not they feel heavy on your feet, I would definitely argue that they don't feel heavy whatsoever. In regards to the overall aesthetics and colorway of the shoe, I think they look quite good. Obviously, the upper has the same general look and shape to that of the outdoor Ace 17.1 Prime Knit, and the boost foam in the midsole I actually think looks quite premium. Being that this is part of the Red Limit Pack colorway, it doesn't necessarily follow the mostly red color scheme that you'll find on the rest of the Ace 17 models. This is mostly black, which I personally prefer. Really like the all black upper. Then you have more subtle red accents in the outline for the Adidas stripes, the Ace logo here on the medial side, the little pull tab on the front made from a synthetic suede material, and then the laces, which feature this kind of red and black look, actually quite nice. And then the rest of the shoe pretty much all black, including the bottom, which I guess is more of a dark gray than it is a black, but nonetheless, I think it's a really good looking shoe. Let me know what you guys think though down below in the comment section. Do you love them? Do you hate them? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the on-feet portion of the video so we can get a better idea as to how these shoes fit, feel, and of course, what the sizing is like. All right, so here is a look at the Ace Tango 17.1 indoors on feet. On my left foot, I have the stock red laces that come with the shoes, and on my right foot, I have a pair of black and red Crackle SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. There'll be a little pop-up on screen as well as a link down below in the description that'll take you directly there. So if you're interested in a pair, be sure to go ahead and check that out. Now, in terms of how these things fit and feel on feet, obviously the upper is very reminiscent to that of the Ace 17.1 Prime Knit. With that said, because of the exposed Prime Knit in the forefoot toe box area, it really does take on that kind of sock-like fit and feel. Super soft, super comfortable. It has that little bit of stretchiness to it as well. And again, it's just a very comfortable shoe in general. The rest of the upper has some decent softness to it as well. When you pull the laces tight, it does a good job of securing your foot, locking it in place. You don't really notice the mid-cut aspect of the shoe, and it doesn't really feel abnormal either. So no issues to complain about there. And again, the upper, very, very comfortable. As far as the Boost midsole is concerned, it does have some really good kind of bounciness, which is kind of what you expect from the Boost foam cushioning setup. It doesn't have the straight up Boost feel like you'll get from an Ultra Boost running shoe, for example, but you don't necessarily want that. That top layer of foam does just enough to allow you to feel the Boost to a certain extent, but maintains good stability under your foot as well, which is very important for a soccer shoe. As far as width is concerned, because of the exposed Prime Knit in the toe box forefoot area, it has some good kind of elasticated stretch to it. So you put them on and it kind of stretches out like a sock, but doesn't feel flimsy or unstable by any means. And the rest of the shoe has some decent width to it as well. So for the most part, I would say that these will fit most people quite comfortably. They do feel a little bit wider than the regular Ace 17.1 Prime Knit, probably because of the exposed Prime Knit and the different bottom that it does have. But again, suitable for pretty much anybody in my opinion in regards to width. And as far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and fit and length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going true to size in order to achieve the best possible fit. All right, guys, that is it for my review of the Adidas Ace Tango 17.1 indoors. If you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, you can either click the first link down below or the little eye in the corner of the screen. That'll take you to the review page on my website, where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these guys up below their normal $130 retail price. If you have any questions regarding this shoe, leave them down below in the comments, and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information linked down below as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.